Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook. I want to talk about the latest episode of Supergirl. This one was called Dreamweaver. It starts out with Dreamer, aka Nia, having kind of like a dream or a vision. I guess it's a dream where she sees her mom in a forest and she can't get to her, which is unfortunate. And it seems like Mixley is behind it. I think I'm saying the name right. Mixley, the fifth dimensional imp lady. It turns out she hasn't been sleeping and she falls asleep at work, causing her to get sent home for a mental health day by Andrea. Andrea, speaking of her, is now officially using the term Super Friends to describe Team Supergirl in the Arrowverse. She uses it during a meeting with reporters who she's trying to get to corral Team Supergirl and get them for, to go on record in interviews for some puff pieces because she's trying to prop up the popularity or the standing of the paper. Kara and John discover an alien bomb plot, which is kind of weird all of a sudden, but more on that later. Jimmy's sister Kelly pays a visit to a troubled alien boy named Joey in her capacity as a social worker. He's being adversely affected by how his brother Orlando is being treated or how his brother Orlando is behaving on a work detail from the prison that he's in for, I guess, some crime he committed. Mixley confronts Dreamer in her next dream and says they need to work with each other. They need each other's help. And she wants Dreamer to manifest her into the real world so that she can go back to the fifth dimension because somehow she's trapped in the dream, in Dreamer's dreams. And in exchange, she would resuscitate or resurrect, I should say, Dreamer's mother for a day. Kara and Kelly visit Orlando's work site, and then Supergirl ends up following him when he's taken to another work site. And along with John, she finds that he and others are being forced to use their powers to steal the components for the bomb that this alien is, or whatever, is planning to build. The prison warden tells the media that work release prisoners kidnapped a guard after this all happens because there was actually an incident where the guard who was basically making them steal at gunpoint was interfered with by Supergirl, and they just take off. But the warden was spinning it as a different thing. Kara tries to tell him something is amiss, but he rebuffs her. I don't think he necessarily knows, so I shouldn't have said he's spinning it, but that's the story he's telling because I guess that's what he thinks happened. Kara then does discover that the warden is in fact crooked, so he was spinning it. And Kelly discovers that Joey's foster home operator, the woman in charge, is hurting the kids. The team finds where the work release crew is being held or is hiding away with the prison guard. And Supergirl tries to rescue them with John, but they resist going with them. And there's a brief fight, but Supergirl talks them down and ends up giving an interview to Kara's would-be love interest, which Andrea is happy about. The foster home lady gets taken away by the cops, and Orlando is released from prison, much to the delight of Joey. Kelly decides she's going to become Guardian full-time, and Alex gives her a helmet that she says she had Jimmy make for Kelly after she saw Kelly kick ass during Crisis. And of course, that's just a shortcut so she can have the helmet sooner rather than later. So they make it like it was already made. But anyway, the next scene that happens is Nia is again talking to Mixley and she agrees to her plan, which I think is going to be a disaster. But we're going to have to wait to see that unfold. I didn't think much of this episode. It was just boring. Like, I don't know. I don't know what plots I want them to do, but it just seemed like, Supergirl's foiling a bomb plot. Like, I don't know. And it's they're clearly setting up a situation where Kelly is either going to be the new foster home person or they're going to adopt someone because there's a little girl that kind of gets a few lines in this episode. And I think, because Alex wants to be a mom, we know that from the past, they might adopt this kid because the kid apparently is going to still be in the show from what I'm reading. So they clearly just did that all to set up a future storyline. And I don't know. It wasn't great. So that's really all there is to it. We're going to have to see what the next episode brings. I'm going to get going. I'll be back with a review of the next episode. Until then, as always, I say peace and long life.